And you are live. I think you're on mute.
You're muted. Sorry. You can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now I have 2:04 on Wednesday, May 5th, 2021. And this is a special meeting of the Jefferson County Health Department Board of Trustees. That's being called to resolve an issue that's arisen in the process of our purchasing property. So again, this is a virtual meeting and I'm calling it to order at this point. So can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Deal,
Here.
Dr. Henry,
Here.
Mr. Prater, Mr. Pig,
Here.
Ms. Davis.
Okay, thanks. So we have 4 or 5 board members and have a quorum. Normally read the mission and vision of the health department. Dr. Henry, would you mind doing that?
Yes, the mission is JCHD will champion positive health outcomes and behaviors through innovative programs and community engagement. Vision is advancing the health and safety of Jefferson County.
Okay, thank you. So call for the orders of the day is approval of the agenda, which you all should have received.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as written. Any discussion on that? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
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 Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, so the agenda is approved. So we'll go down to new business. And the new business is designating board authority for the signing of real property title. So,
Mr. Deal, I'd like to make a motion on that if I could, so we can discuss if we need to. I'd like to make a motion that we move to affirm and ratify the authorization of the purchase of the property pursuant to the agreement, wherein the board approves and authorizes the designation of chairman, Mr. Dennis Deal, as authorized signatory, and affirms Mr. James Prater as secretary treasurer as the tester to authorize, approve, execute, and deliver certain documents as required to effectuate the acquisition of the property pursuant to the agreement.
I second that motion.
okay, thank you both. So any discussion on that? I guess, Joanna, if you don't mind, could you just briefly explain what we're doing here?
Yes, we produce minutes and our bylaws to the title company. And generally, when you purchase real property, they need an actual distinct motion for the particular transaction, granting authority to a particular signatory. And in our minutes, that specificity wasn't included. So we had to hold this meeting to grant them the specificity they require for closing on the property.
Okay, great, thank you. And for my information, so do James and I need to physically sign at the title office, or I saw something that we could do it electronically? How's that going to be done?
Well, there are particular documents for the transaction which can be done electronically, but then there are also documents that will be needed to effectuate actual title. And those documents have to be originals. So it's actually both. So the setting of the closing date, that document, which I've sent to you, we can sign that electronically, and your authority is included in this motion that we've passed today. And then the documents to effectuate the actual title, which would be the deed, and there's also an amendment to the declaration. Those two documents will require original signatures. So you and Mr. Prater will have to do those in person.
Okay, and where is the title office?
Hillsborough Title Company. I don't have their address in front of me, but it is in Hillsborough. So hopefully that's not too far for you. Let me get the address. Hold on one
Oh,
second.
it's fine. I can get that. Okay, I'll have to speak to James to see when he'll be available to do that. Is there any kind of a deadline?
We have set a date of May 12th as a tentative date, but actually on documents like that, you could go in at any time and sign those documents, depending on what your schedule allows.
Okay, I'll contact him and see, we'll get him done as soon as we can. Okay, thank you. So is there any other discussion on the motion and second? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Mr. Deal, may I make a suggestion?
Yes.
May I suggest that it be a roll call vote due to the weight of the situation, please?
That's fine.
Thank you.
Jetty, could you recall the roll, please?
Mr. Deal,
Yes.
Dr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. Prater, Mr. Pig,
Yes.
Ms. Davis.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So that motion passes. As far as I know, we have no other business today. Is that correct? All
Make a
right.
motion, we adjourn the meeting.
And I said,
Before we adjourn, could we have a little discussion among the board members since we have our meeting open on the record?
There's no other business on the agenda.
When are we allowed to talk to each other? We can't talk to each other in emails because it makes a quorum and it's not on public record. This is public record, so if we're going to talk to each other, this is the place to do it.
But there's no other business on the agenda. It's against sunshine for us to have any discussion about anything other than what's on the agenda.
If we discuss it, it's going to be on public record, and then people can watch it if they'd like to. They would only sunshine it if they're kept out of it.
The motion for an adjournment's on the floor. I called order. Call the motion, please.
I second to adjourn.
Okay. Ms. Davis, if you had something you wanted to discuss, we should have amended the agenda.
I do send you emails about getting things on the agenda, and you don't put them on there, Mr. Deal. So that can be put on public record right now.
You didn't do that for this meeting. Our next meeting's May 27th. So if you want anything on that agenda, just let me know. So we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Okay. All right, but that passes, so we stand adjourned.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody.